Welcome to the most must-see podcast in pro wrestling history. Welcome to Mark's Side of the Ring. Our views, our opinions, our predictions, spoiler-free on all things AEW and WWE. I am your main Mark, Miguel Minetti, and alongside I have my two co-hosts, Fred DeCourt and Nick Fiorentino. What's going on, boys?
I'm ready for the Hall of Fame, Mr. RVD.
Oh wow, look at that! Nick brought the guns to the gun show over here.
If you want to borrow them for Tampa, you could have them.
I could use a couple. I wouldn't mind.
Nick's all decked out for tonight's Hall of Fame.
I have a WrestleMania shirt, which has Hall of Famers on it, so I'm kind of there.
I like it. Fred's ready to go too with the Hall of Fame. And speaking of Hall of Fame, we got the co-host of Sharp Bets and Fantasy Sets here today for our WrestleMania 37 prediction show, Mr. Big Time Tim Sickoria. What's going on, Tim?
It's Triple T, Tim Sickoria. Thanks, Mr. Conrad Thompson. Thanks for that. I'm gonna take that and run with it. For those of you that don't know, DraftKings is running a NXT pool on 4-7 and 4-8. Free to enter. Get them all right. Win a share of the prize. I think it's $1,000 for each day. You're not gonna win all $1,000, but hey, free money is free money. So good luck.
It wouldn't be Big Time or Triple T Tim Sickoria on here helping us out if you didn't plug a little gambling there when it comes to wrestling. So thanks for that awesome plug, Tim. But we got the great show here for you today, the show that we've all been anticipating, and that's Reswell. 75% of us, maybe.
What's Reswell? Is Reswell like a show or?
It's Roswell. It's different.
Oh, where the aliens are. Yeah. I got you. Roswell.
We got the WrestleMania 37 prediction show where we're going to give our thoughts. We've been talking about this for weeks. We're finally here. The show of shows is coming up this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, and we're here today to give you our predictions on all 14 matches for this weekend's card. Gentlemen, are you ready to give our predictions?
I mean, this is WrestleMania, so if you're going to ask us if we're ready, I feel like there's only one way to do it.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Let me try that again. Take two. Okay. Gentlemen, are you ready? No! I said, are you ready? My best Triple H impression.
Let's go.
We are finally ready to give our WrestleMania 37 predictions, and Big Time or Triple T, whatever the hell we're calling you this week, Tim Sickoria, you're getting the honors first, sir. We're going to kick it off with the first match in my order that I put in here, and we're going to start with the Women's Tag Team Turmoil match. So this match was just made this past Monday on Raw. There's a few different women's tag teams in there, and the winner of this match, who will face on night one, will get a chance at the Women's Tag Team Champions, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler on night two for the Women's Tag Team titles. So, Tim, who are we picking here? We got the Riot Squad. These are the announced groups so far. The Riot Squad, we have Lana and Naomi. We got Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke. We have Natalya and Tamina. And for a short period, they put in the poster Carmella and Billie Kay. Then it got deleted. But we're going to add them to this pool as well, too. So, Tim, give us your thoughts, sir.
Let me tell you, boys, I really hope that this is not the first match on day one, because this is the most obvious. It's time to refill your drink. It's time to go take a shot. It's time to go to the bathroom. Whatever break you guys enjoy doing, I like the first two better than the last one. But honestly, it does not matter who wins this match, right? I think there's going to be a surprise. I think that surprise team is going to win, and they're going to set up a big match on day two.
Okay, well, so who are you picking? You can go with anybody.
I'm gonna pick the surprise team. Whoever shows up in this tag team turmoil match that is not announced, give me whatever, Charlotte Flair and her dad. I don't care, right? It'll be somebody. It'll be somebody as surprise, and they're going to win the match.
I just thought of something. What if we put the Bella Twins in here?
I was just thinking that in my head. I was going to say, I just because they have said they're going to make an in-ring return. It's happening. Just a matter of when.
Fred, well, that being said, bro, who are your pick?
What? Not with them. If the Bellas are in it, that is my pick. But if not, that It could be any of them, honestly. I mean, kind of to what Tim said, it doesn't really matter which one it is. It gets a women's tag title match on the show the next night. I'm gonna go with Lana and Naomi, and the only reason I'm gonna pick them is because if you remember months back when Lana kept getting put through tables by Nia Jax, like I think 9 times or something, there really was no payoff for that. Everybody expected a payoff at, I forget which pay-per-view it was, maybe it was Survivor Series or something, and it never came. So it kind of would be pretty cool if after all this time later, Lana and Naomi end up winning the tag team titles from Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, and she finally gets her victory over Nia after the months and months of table beatings. So I'm going to go with Naomi and Lana just for that reason.
All right, so far we got the surprise team that Tim doesn't know, and we got Lana and Naomi from Fred. Nick Fiorentino, the man of the hour, Mr. NWO himself. Who are you picking?
Riot Squad. I feel like they're kind of pushing them, kind of moving a lot of social media stuff. I do think the Bella Twins are going to return, but I kind of think they're going to return at the night after Mania, Raw, so to challenge. But I think the Riot Squad's going to win, and I think they're going to win the titles.
Wow. Okay, nice prediction. So I'm going to go Billie Kay and Carmella. Only reason is because they've been investing a lot of time in both Carmella and Billie Kay out of the competitors that were announced. And it's kind of funny, like I mentioned earlier, they took them off the poster. So I don't know if they're definitely in. Maybe we'll find out on Smackdown, but they're doing a lot with Billie Kay with the whole resume thing. I know they're building Carmella up. So give me Carmella and Billie Kay to take on Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Might as well then get the match after that out of the way, which is the winners of that match will face Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Tim, who are you picking for the women's tag titles?
I'm taking whatever the surprise team is. That shouldn't be a quote unquote surprise. Eventually, right? They got to break up this team of Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. They both have to move back to the single. Having Shayna as a tag team competitor is just a waste of talent. It's just as simple as that. This could be their big breakup, then have a feud against each other to build towards one of them getting a title shot. So that's what I'll go with.
Okay, Fred?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Naomi and Lana. If that's my pick to win the turmoil, I'm going with them to win the tag belts with the storyline that I proposed.
I like it. And Nick, you kind of already said it, right? You said Riot Squad.
Right. Yeah, Riot Squad.
Do I think Carmella and Billie Kay will beat Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler? No. No, I'm going to go Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. Something inside me tells me that this feud will, or this team of Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler being dominant will continue. Although they've been weird on Shayna Baszler, but that's another story for another time. So give me Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, retain the tag team championship. All right, let's move on to the next match now. Maybe a bit of a more exciting match, and I'm actually looking forward to this. We're going to next talk about Seth Rollins versus Cesaro, which could be the workhorse match of at least night one, maybe the entire weekend. Tim, who you got in this match? And give us some thoughts here, bud.
Literally stole my thunder a little bit, right? I said this is the match that could potentially steal the show, especially for night one. You have two guys that can literally go in the ring for as long as they need them to. If they need time to fill, which I don't know how long night one's going to be, hopefully not too long, but I think Cesaro pulls it out, right? And he needs his one run in WWE. I think it starts on WrestleMania night one with a big victory.
Fred?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, the fact that they've been pushing Cesaro like they haven't, or putting him in such a high-profile match, which is deserved, no doubt about it, to go through all that and then have him lose on the grandest stage is kind of like, that they have, then they really don't have any plans. But I don't see Seth losing either because, he just made his big return. He is Seth freaking Rollins. But I'm going to go with Cesaro on it. I think he deserves a win and a big win for him in his first singles match after being with the company for 9 years, or on the main roster for 9 years anyway. That's it's a big win.
I like it. Nick?
I'm going Cesaro. I think this match will be the opening match. I think it'll set the tone So my prediction is it's the first match of the night and Cesaro wins. One minor note, obviously Easter weekend, this past weekend, I was at my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law's, and they have 2 small kids and they have a big trampoline. So of course a big trampoline becomes a wrestling ring. I tried to do the Cesaro swing with my niece. I could do it for like 10 seconds and I felt like I was going to puke all over the place. I don't know how the fuck he does that move.
Well, he doesn't drink excessively before he tries.
Neither did I. It was like 9:30 in the morning, but like I tried doing it, and the problem was she didn't get as dizzy as I did, so she kept wanting to do it over and over and over again. I was like, I can't do it anymore.
Well, your physique and Cesaro's are pretty similar, so I'm shocked that you only lost 10 seconds.
You see his arm? God damn.
He's right on there. He's right up there with Cesaro. So you're picking Cesaro, you said?
Yeah, Cesaro. Yeah, they're building him like Fred said. So
I don't know, man. Maybe I'm crazy. I'm going the opposite on this too. I'm going Seth Rollins. I just don't think there's any way that Seth Rollins. I think they're gonna have a competitive match. It's gonna be crazy, and I also think it's gonna be the first match of the night too.
What's Cesaro's contract situation? Not to cut you off. I know that he was like kind of, I would think it's the last thing they want is for him to go to AEW. So
I would agree, but I don't know. I don't know. I feel like everyone that's programmed in WWE doesn't care about the wins and losses anymore, as long as it's not like a 2-second match, right? I think this is going to go 15, 20 minutes, and Cesaro's going to look great, but I just see Seth getting the W.
I mean, sometimes you can get more from a loss than a win. Honestly, that happened many times.
What was last year's WrestleMania match was KO and Seth, and they stole the show.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't lose any stock by losing that match. So could the same thing happen?
I think so. I'm only picking Seth because the company's obviously way more invested in Seth than they are in Cesaro. Not to say Cesaro hasn't gotten an awesome push lately, probably been the best push since he's been in WWE, but Seth's a megastar for WWE. I mean, they've never messed him up.
So right now, Miguel, you're 0-3 in picks, and I'm 3-0. I'm liking this already. This is terrific.
Maybe we got to do a gentleman's bet live on the air here. Well, taped on the air here as we talk about, I don't know, what should the loser between me and Triple T do? Have to figure something out.
I already have to send you a hoodie, Mark Side of the Ring hoodie, which, hold on, I better put that on. I don't know why I didn't wear that. Give me a second, boys. You can pick the next match. I'll be the last one to pick. I got a special present.
Okay, we'll go in reverse order for the next match here. So next match we're going to talk about, which is another match actually I'm very much looking forward to, which I think will also steal the show. But I think this match is on night 2. We got Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. Nick, so we'll let you, actually I said reverse order, which means I'll make the first pick on this. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn with Logan Paul in Sami Zayn's corner. This one's tough to pick. This could go either way. Give me Kevin Owens just because I think there's a lot of matches where the heels are going to win, and I think Kevin Owens he wants to do that dive off the ship, and I think it's totally going to happen, and I think he's going to connect with Sami Zayn and get the W right from there. So give me Kevin Owens. Definitely one of the most underrated matches that before it even happens. Look at Triple T. For those of you watching the video, look at Triple T. He's got a Mark Side of the Ring shirt on, or I'm sorry, a hoodie on. Dedicated.
Very nice.
Love it.
It's a little hot for the hoodie right now, but we'll make it work.
Love it.
It'll smell just like me if you want to borrow it for your trip down to Mania, Miguel.
Oh, I got plenty of shirts to give out, so we're good. Nick, we'll let you go next on this match. And just so you know, Triple T, we're talking Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. So, Nick, who do you got, and what are your thoughts on this match?
KO. I think it'll be a great match, but give me KO.
You looking forward to it?
Yeah, I think it'll be a good match. To Fred's point, that he made last week, I feel like the perception is we've seen this a million times, but we really haven't. And I feel like this is a match that was kind of thrown together, and I could see, of course, we're not in booking or anything, but I could see them being like, I don't have plans for him. So fuck it. We're friends in real life. Let's put them together. They'll have a great match. Everybody knows the match is going to be great. They're both great competitors. I like them both. I'll be honest, one of the matches I'm looking forward to most, because I do think Kevin Owens is going to do something crazy, but I just think they have more invested in Kevin Owens. I don't think Logan Paul's a long-standing character. on the show. So I could see, him turning on Sami Zayn in some way and kind of moving on from that feud. So, give me KO. I think KO is going to win.
It's funny because usually those that are best friends, they end up having very good matches, right? There's been so many cases of that in the past. So, yeah, I think they're going to put on a barn burner for sure. Fred, you're up, my friend. KO, Sami Zayn. What do you got?
I am very looking forward to this match. I'm happy for the two of them to get such a high-profile match on the biggest stage, from friends in Montreal to WrestleMania. And I'm going with KO. I think KO is going to get a big win at WrestleMania. I don't think that says anything bad about Sami Zayn. I just think this is Kevin Owens' match.
I love it. Big time or Triple T. What do you got?
Hey, man, I prefaced this with my statement before. Kevin Owens is going to look to steal the show whichever way possible. So, like you guys said, it's going to be a great match. KO's winning via the stunner. Good old Stone Cold.
KO Mania 5.
Shout out to Moravik. I do another shot, but I might get in trouble.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's move on to the next match here. Probably big times. Most highly anticipated match. And Tim, I'm going to let you go first. We got The Miz and John Morrison versus Damian Priest and Bad Bunny himself. Bad Bunny making his in-ring debut at WrestleMania. What do you got?
All right. Who do I want to win?
No, who do you think's going to win?
Yeah, see? Two different answers. I want The Miz to win, right? Awesome. He deserves it. He has a belt for a day, loses it, whatever. It is what it is. You knew it was going to happen. Do I want him to win on WrestleMania? Yeah, he's my favorite wrestler, so I want him to win. Is he going to do the right thing for the company and take the pinfall from Bad Bunny in the middle of the ring? Absolutely. So there's my, I don't know how it's going to happen. Damian Priest is probably going to hit his finish on The Miz, and then Bad Bunny's going to walk in and pin him right in the center of the ring. So that's what's going to happen.
I was going to ask you guys, just throw it out there, all three of you. Is this the most predictable match of the whole weekend, you think?
Nope.
Really? Okay. Fred, who do you got?
I'm going with Bad Bunny and Priest.
Okay.
No doubt. I think Bad Bunny will get the W. I think, like Tim said, Priest will hit his finish. And then I wouldn't be surprised if Bad Bunny does something like off the top rope. Like we saw him do the splash at the Rumble, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if he does something off the top rope. And I'm not saying he's going to do a shooting star press, but that'd be some shit if he did.
I'd be thoroughly impressed. I read, or was it Triple H was on Pardon My Take, right?
Right.
Sports podcast, and he said that Bad Bunny's been training for a while.
Yeah, he's been at the PC every day, and that's why a lot of people they get mad at celebrity involvement, and I get it, but that WrestleMania A was built on celebrity involvement. So people that get mad about celebrities, at WrestleMania, that's what made WrestleMania. That's what it was built on. So, and I'm not mad because he's invested. He's a huge fan, has been for years, since he was a kid. And yes, he's not, the world's different though. They're in one venue. There's no touring. So it's allowed him to do it, but he could have still said, no, I'm not going to show up for TV every week. Right. He could have still, and they probably would have been like, okay, well, he's there every week. He's, training every day at the PC. He is invested in it. He's not just coming in for a payoff and making a couple of shots and, where's my check? Cool. See you. No. So I respect that. I'm not saying I'm a huge Bad Bunny fan. I don't dislike his music. I like songs that he's in, but I can't tell you, besides Booker T, I can't tell you any of his songs, but I know he's been featured on songs that I like. So it's cool. It's a cool deal. And he's one of the guys that's he's popular now. We may not be at the Bad Bunny concert, but the young, cool crowd that decisions are made upon in business. Yeah, unfortunately, I think we're past the young, cool crowd. Maybe cool, but young. No, we're not. High school is where the companies would look for their money, and yeah, for
No, they don't. No,
yeah,
they
they dictate what's cool and what's not. That's the age group, unfortunately. Not us.
So you're going with Bad Bunny.
Money.
Right?
I'm going with Bad Bunny.
Right.
It's a big deal.
Nick, you shook your head before and I said it's the most predictable match of the night. Are you actually going with Miz and Morrison?
No, I just think there's a more predictable match, but I'm gonna
okay.
go Bad Bunny and Priest. But to Fred's point, just to kind of argue it for a minute, I'm not against them having stars at the show. I agree that WrestleMania was built on stars, but we go from WrestleMania 1 of Muhammad Ali and Mr. T and Billy Martin to Bad Bunny, who if he walked into my store tomorrow to buy alcohol, I wouldn't have known who he was. And I admittedly, could be out of touch. I couldn't name you one Bad Bunny song outside of Booker T. And the only reason I know that is because he performed it at the Rumble. If it was Conor McGregor, if it was Tyson Fury again, if it was like a star, with, and I don't want to be put on blast, but with any like remote talent, I probably would be excited. But I don't care about Logan Paul. I'm not a TikTok, fan, when it comes to that kind of stuff. You could see where they're going and who they're trying to target with, Logan Paul and Bad Bunny and these other people. They're clearly targeting a younger demographic. And if they think it's going to work, then that's great. It just doesn't draw me in. I could care less about Bad Bunny. But, for them, if it works, it works. Whatever.
Bro, I don't know, man, because I don't know much about Logan Paul, but I started following Bad Bunny on Instagram, and first of all, he's got 32 million followers, right?
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he's huge.
No, but here's the more crazy part. We have 62 mutual contacts on Instagram, and I'm just quickly on the air here scrolling through them. There's definitely a few of the wrestlers I follow are following them, but believe it or not, there's a lot of people, mostly females, my age, that like his music and stuff, I guess, or follow him at least on Instagram. So maybe he's going for the female. Maybe they're going for the female demographic too. I don't know. Of all ages, but not many guys that I'm friends with that follow him. But
they're always trying to increase their female audience too. Yeah. So
I mean, that's just I don't know anything. I'm just putting that out there. But
Miguel, let's bring it back to wrestling here, pal. Let's females are overrated, right? Us nerds want to talk about wrestling. Miguel, when's the last time they had a celebrity in a match and that celebrity not win the match?
I don't know if that's ever happened to you.
Exactly. So there you go. There's your answer. You're 1 for 4 now, Miguel. Proud of you.
I didn't give a pick yet, but I'm going Bad Bunny, Damian Priest as well. Only to me, that's the most predictable match of the night. To Tim's point, I don't think any celebrity's ever lost in a match before at WrestleMania. Even Snooki won, and that was my first WrestleMania I was at. I had to watch her wrestle at WrestleMania 27.
She had a great spot too, back handspring. Good for her.
Shout out to Snooki. I think John Morrison was in that match too, right?
It was a 6-person, yeah.
Right, yeah. So, all right. Well, we're all on the same page here. We got the Bunny and Priest. Let's move on to the next match here. And actually, this is another match I'm very much looking forward to. And this is going to be for the United States Championship. We got Riddle, the United States champion, taking on Sheamus. It's going to be a hell of a match. Triple T, who you got?
Why you always go to me with the worst matches? Your boy is going to win, Miguel. I'm going to take him. There's no way. There's no reason to stop his push now. I know Sheamus is just coming out of a huge feud, which makes the win over him even more impressive. So Matt Riddle wins. Don't worry, Miguel. He's still not going to win the world title. I think you called it in the last calendar year since last Mania you called it. So you owe somebody $1. Just saying. I remember. But we're all good.
I think I did call Riddle winning the title by the end of 2020 or early 2021. So I was close.
You said by next Mania.
I think by next Mania now.
Oh, here we go. Double down on your bet.
Double down, baby. Double down. All right, so you're going with Riddle to retain the United States Championship. Fred.
I'm going with Riddle too, bro, all the way.
Right.
I think it's a big win for the bro, the original bro on WrestleMania. His first.
Nick probably hates Riddle more than any human being I've ever met, or at least personally know. Nick, are you ballsy enough to take Sheamus, or are you going with Riddle?
I'm going to take Riddle. I think Riddle's going to win. I just don't, and it has nothing to do with his like physical abilities or anything. I think he puts together great matches. I just can't stand his character. I want to punch him in the face.
Hopefully Riddle's not listening to this match. If not, we'll keep Riddle.
I mean, he would fuck me up, but that doesn't mean
Riddle DM.
That doesn't mean I wouldn't try.
DM Mark side of the ring. We'll give you Nick's address. I'll record it for all the fans out there. Oh, that's funny. I'm going Riddle as well too. I think he's gonna have continue his monster push. I think it's gonna be the most. Will it be the most physical match tonight? Definitely gonna be top 2, 3 for sure. I think they get a lot of time here too, and
Miguel, you asked about predictability. This is my most predictable match.
Okay, that's interesting. I could see Sheamus winning, so I'm surprised, but yeah, I think they're going to put on a great match, very physical, and I think this is one of those matches where Fred was talking about earlier that Sheamus will look good in defeat, right? We talk about people looking good in defeat. I think Sheamus is going to come out even stronger maybe than he has before this match. So looking forward to this match as well. All right, so we're getting through here now, and we're going to move on to probably Nick's favorite match I know he's looking forward to, and we'll go with him in a little bit to this. But Triple T, we got the steel cage match. We got Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon. I know Triple T's got a lot to say on this match as well.
See, now this has to be the most exciting WrestleMania match of all time. No, that's a joke, right? We're ha-haing right now. There's zero chance that Shane McMahon wins. But I will tell you that I think Braun Strowman does a Shane McMahon spot in the match. I think he takes a tumble off of, you said it's a steel cage match, right? Is that what he's definitely jumping off top of the cage. He's going to steal the McMahon spot. I don't know that he's going to hit it. I don't know how that's going to result in the match at all. But they need to pull something out of this. If it's the same Shane McMahon high spot, I'm not for it. I would rather see Strowman just bulldoze him over in 3 minutes and just get it over, just beat the shit out of him and call it a night. There's no other reason for this match to be on pay-per-view, let alone WrestleMania.
What if they did a coast-to-coast, Shane on the top of one side of the steel cage, Braun laying down at the turnbuckle on the opposite side, and he coast-to-coast from the top of the steel cage? I mean, if anyone's going to do shit like that, it's Shane McMahon.
Yeah, as long as Strowman stands up and hits him with he runs around the ring. If he just gets up and shoulder blocks him in the middle of the coast-to-coast, maybe that's something I'd like to see.
Nice. Fred, who do you got in this match?
Yeah, I mean, there's no way Braun's not winning this one. As far as Braun doing a spot off the top of the cage, that'd be spectacular. That would save this match. If Braun does something crazy, like we know Shane will do something off the top of the cage, so that wouldn't be shocking. Except that coast to coast, that would be a cool deal if they could pull that off. But if Braun does something off the cage, I'd be impressed, and I wouldn't be so, upset about the match. So we'll see, but I'm going to go with Braun. No matter how he wins it, it's Braun.
Nick, I know you've been anticipating this match for months. What do you got?
Braun. This is the one that I think is the most predictable. There's no way with WWE's Be a Star program and everything in this entire feud being built on Shane bullying, for a lack of a better word, Braun Strowman. There's no way they're going to let the bully win.
Braun.
My only fear is that could we see a St. Valentine's Day Massacre type ending where Braun throws him through the cage and both feet land on the ground? I mean, he could beat the shit out of Shane legitimately for 30 minutes. Not 30 minutes, but you get my point, and end it with throwing him through the cage and his feet hitting the ground and him technically winning the match, but getting the shit kicked out of him, the entire time. I think that's a little more likely than Braun jumping off a cage. I don't know how far-fetched that is or if that's even possible. We are talking about a show where one feud we're going to get into later is about a guy setting another guy on fire. So, I suspend my disbelief on what can happen and what can't in WWE. So
I'm going Braun Strowman as well, too. I think this is, to me, Bunny is the most predictable, but this is probably the second most predictable match. So I'm going Braun Strowman, and I'm calling it right now. Shane McMahon does coast to coast off the top of the steel cage. So let's move on to the next match, which actually is a match I think a lot of wrestling fans are curious for, and that's for the Raw Tag Team Championship. And that will actually see another competitor make their in-ring debut at WrestleMania, and that's the New Day defending the Raw Tag Team Championship against AJ Styles and his bodyguard, Omos. So, Tim, this is going to be a two-part question for you. First off, what do you got? And second off, are you looking forward to see what Omos can do in the ring?
To answer Conrad's question, Omos is definitely big enough to be the heavyweight champ. Well, first and foremost, and second of all, it's AJ and Omos. And do I want to see what he can do in the ring? Sure, I think that's what everyone wants to see in this match. This is like the total HBK and Diesel vibe for me. Like this, that's all I see in them. I see the small guy who could do all the work, and the big guy who's going to get his feet wet, and hopefully it turns into something huge for WWE, because this guy's just unbelievable to look at. If he can even move a little bit in the ring and has a little bit of ring sense, they have a, no pun intended, huge star on their hands. So I'll go AJ and Omos, and whatever happens, I hope it's good.
You think the bar's set pretty low for Omos, right? Where like if he does even remotely moves a little bit, that people are just going to be pretty excited about it?
Yeah, I mean, I have like zero expectation. You don't know what you're going to get. The WWE normally doesn't promote or build people up if they can't do something. They're not just going to put him out there at WrestleMania. Same thing with Bad Bunny. They're not just going to put him out there if he wasn't at the PC, didn't prove himself to somebody to say, hey, give the dude a match. He can. We could do something with him.
I think the major difference between Bunny and Omos is that Bunny is a celebrity, right? So if he throws up a stinker, which I don't think he will, but if he does, WWE will just shrug it off like, okay, he's a celebrity. We're never just like, Snooki, we're never going to see him wrestle again or her wrestle again. But to your point about Omos, I mean, yeah, they're putting a lot of stock in this guy by having his debut at WrestleMania. And I don't want to say they've been burned before, but it reminds me of the Fandango, right? Scene in 29 where he had his in-ring debut, at least as Fandango. And he had a decent run, but never really made anything major for himself, in my opinion. So, Fred, what are your thoughts on this match, and who do you got?
As far as who I got, this one's a hard one for me to pick. I mean, I'm gonna go with New Day on it. But I do think that Omos is gonna, surprise some people. And I think that's the selling point of this match, is seeing his first match. And also, is there any way New Day can win with this big bastard being one of his opponents and one of the best of all time in AJ Styles? With that being said, though, with almost like impressing and being good and all that, like, I think at the same token, he shouldn't do too much. Like sometimes, like, when a big guy, like, yeah, you don't want a big guy that's boring, and can't move. But at the same time, you don't want him doing too much. You want him to be a big guy. That's what draws him. He's a big guy. So he shouldn't be doing stuff like AJ Styles. Like Big Show used to get yelled at when he would do things. He was physically able, but that doesn't mean he should do it. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. And I'm not saying that almost can, but I'm saying I don't want him to do too much. I don't want him to be like, having a 5-star match out there. His gig is to be the big, bastard that nobody could, get through. So.
Okay, so you're going New Day, right?
I'm going with New Day, though, yeah.
Nick?
AJ and Omos.
What are your expectations on this match?
I think it'll be a good match because I think Kofi, Xavier, and AJ can all go at a really high level. I don't think almost or whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah, I don't like his name. I will say that.
Yeah, Osmosis.
Nick, can I propose a question for you?
Sure.
Will Omos be better on day one than the Great Khali was at the end of his WWE run?
Shout out to
Omos is the minute Omos steps into the ring, he will already far exceed anything that the Great
Yeah, I mean,
Khali.
we're not setting the bar too high there.
Listen, you're talking about the Hall of Famer here, okay? A man's getting
almost can walk, so already he's got a competitive advantage against a Great Khali, who I would always be worried about is going to fall at any moment because he's so wonky walking. But congratulations to the Great Khali on his Hall of Fame. But no, I think Omos could probably go. I just don't know how much we're going to see of them. I think they like to keep the big guys big, and I don't think we're going to be seeing any moonsaults or anything crazy. But I'm sure we'll see some some chops and some choke slams and some some chokes and stuff like that. So we'll see. But I think it'll be a good match, and I think AJ and Omos are gonna take home the gold.
Me too. I'm going AJ and Omos. I think they create an interesting dynamic as Raw Tag Team Champions. Gives AJ Styles something to do for a little bit, right? He's not really in the main event scene right now. He's kind of hanging out in purgatory. So I look.
Well, we all know the feud is going to end with, AJ and Omos fighting. I mean, it's a tale as old as time. But I think at the same point, the New Day, I think they want to have the tag titles more than anybody in the history. I think when it's all said and done, they will hold the tag titles more than anybody in history. And how do you do that? By having them lose it and then re-win it. So they have to lose again. So why not now?
I'm looking forward to their eventual feud, their breakup and match, maybe at SummerSlam. We'll see. Next match here, we got the Intercontinental Championship, which I also am very much looking forward to. We got Big E defending the Intercontinental title against the Apollo Crews in a Nigerian drum fight. So I don't know what the hell this match is and entails. I don't think anybody does, but Triple T, who do you got? And what do you think a Nigerian drum fight is, Triple T?
I have no idea. I literally, the first thing I have written down is, Miguel, what the fuck is a Nigerian drum fight? I have no idea what to expect, right? I think Big E is due for a main event title push, right? So I'm going with Mr. Cruz. I don't know. I don't know what to expect, right? Is there a way to beat Big E in this drum match where he doesn't lose any credibility? He just loses because of X, Y, and Z. Yeah, I think that's going to happen. I don't know what it is. I don't think anyone knows what it is, but I'll go Cruz.
If the professor Fred DeCourt doesn't know what a Nigerian drum fight is, then nobody does.
Yeah.
Fred, who are you picking?
I'm going with Big E on this one. I think Big E's going to get it. I mean, I don't think that, Apollo losing is a great idea, but it's better than Big E losing. So I'm going to go with Big E. And as far as what the Nigerian drum fight is, I don't know. I mean, all is based on what Cruz said on Smackdown is it's pretty much just like no holds barred street fight. So I think it's just going to basically be that. This is just the gimmick that the name they're putting on to make it different. And maybe some of the weapons will be like, Nigerian based or something, or look,
Yeah,
look
they'll
different.
be kendo sticks. Don't worry.
Like the sword that he comes out with, or whatever he comes out with. Like
they're not going to have him fight
that.
with swords.
Well, no, but I'm saying weapons like that are more Nigerian based than a steel chair.
I got you.
So you're going Big E, you said.
Big E.
Big E. All right, Nick.
Big E. I have no idea what this match is, and didn't even know that this was the match. So I think Big E's going to win. I have no idea what this kind of match is. I just picture a giant African drum hanging on a pole. And the object is to get the drum and beat your opponent with it like Big Boss Man against.
Well, if Russo was booking, it wouldn't
WCW.
But I think not knowing what it is part of the intrigue of it, to be honest.
For whatever reason, when you first said it, I just remembered Sting's entrance with all the big drums, and I just picture them banging the drums as the match is going on.
You bring up a good point, because I was just about to say this. I think my prediction is Apollo gets a special entrance for this match, and I could see something with people like hitting the drums, type of kind of like 31 Sting-esque when he came out, right? So
he's losing. That's great.
What if it's like the Inferno match where whenever there was a big move, like the flames would go up? So maybe they just keep playing the drums the whole time, and as the intensity picks up, they just drum harder. They just keep drumming harder as the intensity continues to pick up.
Nick, are you getting back to your drumline days? Is this what you're?
I am.
I love it.
Nick, I think WWE's hiring. Right, so maybe we will submit your application then right after this show.
There you go.
I'm going. This is a tough one too. I'm going Apollo. I forget which one of you said it, but I think Big E's destined for Triple T said it. I think Big E's destined for some definitely higher upper card things above, maybe right into the main event, the Universal title picture down the road. I could see that in the June pay-per-view or July pay-per-view. So I'm going Apollo to become the Intercontinental Champion, and
Apollo.
I really think Apollo's done some really cool things this last month with his character change. So I'm looking forward to this match, and hopefully, if Apollo does win, he can make a difference with that Intercontinental Championship. So remains to be seen. All right, we're getting on now to what I believe are the 5 marquee matches of the whole weekend. We're going to kick it off first with the Raw Women's Championship match. So we got Asuka defending the Raw Women's title against Rhea Ripley. And even though this match was kind of thrown together last minute, partly due to Charlotte Flair unfortunately having COVID, I think this is still one of the more marquee matches of the entire weekend. So Triple T, who are we going with? We going with Asuka to retain? Or are we going with Rhea Ripley? I mean, Rhea had a tremendous showing last year at WrestleMania. So what are your thoughts on this?
I think that Rhea Ripley is going to win, and based on what their crowd reaction is on her winning is what the WWE does with her. They didn't know last year when Drew McIntyre won at Mania how the crowd would have reacted. They saw the Rumble, right? They don't know how they're going to react afterwards. I think we're going to see Rhea Ripley win, and based on crowd reaction, I'm sure they're going to pop like everyone does. But the crowds after, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to get. What exactly we're going to get. I don't know that there even is live crowds that are coming up in the near future for pay-per-views, but they need to see what they have as far as the live crowd that they have today. So that I'll go Rhea Ripley. You already saw Asuka. We already know what Asuka is. Asuka doesn't really do it for me personally. So maybe that's just my pipe dream that I want to see somebody else with the belt, but I'm going to go Rhea.
All right. Fred, who do you got? And would you agree that Rhea had probably the best match on the card last year that wasn't a cinematic match?
Yeah. I just actually rewatched 36. Well, some of it. It's hard to get through. But that match was still a good match. You could still appreciate what that match was and the reactions it would have gotten if there was a crowd there. So, I think Rhea, she lost her opportunity last year. And I also wonder if there was a crowd, if they would have put the belt on her and had her win, or kept the belt on her, I should say, and had her win. Maybe they changed plans because of that. But I do think Rhea has her moment this year. She's going in as a heel, which I thought was interesting, but she's got a heel look to her. I think it makes sense. I mean, she's been a babyface the majority of her career in WWE, but her turning heel isn't a bad call. I was a little surprised, especially if she gets her big moment. But I'm going with Rhea, and I think the two of them are going to put an amazing match together. I'm actually very looking forward. Originally, the rumor was Charlotte and Asuka, which I was not mad about. A WrestleMania 34 rematch. That's 3 years ago now. They never had a big rematch. I think maybe on TV once or whatever. So that would have been cool. Wouldn't have been mad. But I think this is even better. Rhea's first time facing Asuka. So that's cool. Her debut on the main roster. I think it ended up working out that Flair got a fake pregnancy test.
Yeah, absolutely. Nick, you looking forward to this match?
Yeah, I think there's a legitimate argument to be made that all 4 matches can have a big title change. So do I think it'll happen? I would bet against it, but I'm having a tough time picking which one I think the champ will retain. So, I do think Rhea Ripley's going to win. I think it's her time. She put in a great match last year. Seems like they're building her up. I am looking forward to the match. I do think she's very good. Of the 4 title matches, I'm probably looking forward to it the least, but probably only because I know the least about Rhea Ripley, really. I'm not an NXT guy. She really hasn't come up on the main roster and done much this past year, and that's kind of when I'm introduced to them. So I do think it'll be a good match, but I think Rhea Ripley's going to win.
Did her match with Charlotte last year particularly stand out to you?
Well, like to Fred's point, it was a tough Mania to get through. I don't remember a whole lot of it, even at this point. But in terms of things I remember really enjoying that match. I remember not really enjoying the Shayna Baszler, Becky Lynch match. specifically, but I couldn't tell you what spots I liked in either and what I didn't. I just think Charlotte and Rhea had more mojo and could go, a little bit better. So I do think that, and we all know, I think Asuka's, pound for pound, the best female wrestler on their roster to me. I mean, I just think she's the best. So I think she's great. I don't think a loss hurts her at all. She seems to lose every WrestleMania. But I think she's like the anti-Undertaker, but I think that she can lose this match and it won't affect her at all. I think Rhea Ripley needs the title and deserves the title, so give me her.
I'm going Rhea Ripley as well. I think it's her time to shine. I think furthermore, this is going to set up, and here's my big prediction tonight. I kind of said this to T before we went on the air. I think we see the return of either Becky Lynch or Ronda Rousey after this match. That's my prediction. So my prediction overall, Rhea wins. Her and Asuka do some sort of hug, handshake, right? Sportsmanship like. Asuka leaves the ring. Rhea hoists the title up. And I just don't know which one. I think it's more of a pipe dream to say Ronda. So I'm going to go with Becky. You just hear, whoa, and the crowd just loses their mind. See, that's my terrible Becky Lynch song impersonation.
The crowd or you, Miguel? Who's going to go crazy?
It might be me, partly me. But could you imagine the stare down between Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley? I mean,
it would be cool.
Why is it every time you yell anything, you put your arms together like this?
You're like, well, I don't know, because I'm pretending.
Whoa.
It makes it sound so much better, Nick.
Right?
It makes it sound so much better. It's just projected. That's all.
His NWO shirt trying to tell me what to do. Too sweet. No, but I'm going Rhea Ripley to win this match, and I think we set up an awesome feud for Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley. I don't know if they could slow play it to SummerSlam, but shit, maybe that happens at Backlash or whatever, or Money in the Bank, that next pay-per-view after WrestleMania. So Rhea Ripley to win. All right, let's move on now to the match that, honestly, out of all 14 matches, this match has been built the longest, and we're going with Randy Orton versus the returning Fiend, Bray Wyatt. This match has been slow build since, like, November. Well, really since TLC, when Randy Orton murdered the Fiend and lit him on fire. But the Fiend is back in new form, burnt to a crisp. Tim, what are your thoughts on this feud, my friend, and who are you ultimately picking? And what type of match is this going to be? Like, what the hell are we going to see here?
Miguel, you said there were 14 matches on the card, right?
Yep.
I told you number 14 was the most predictable. Here's number 13, the most predictable. There is no way the WWE lets the Fiend lose this match at WrestleMania.
Don't say that.
No, I know. Don't say that. Right? They can't keep fucking it up. They can't. That's it. The Fiend is going to win. What match is going to be? I hope the Fiend squashes Randy Orton. I hope that happens. I don't see it happening. That's what needs to happen. Put your foot behind him. Shove him forward. That's it. That's the only thing they should do. It doesn't even need to be. It doesn't need to be a long, drawn-out match. They fought against each other. How many WrestleManias ago? Help me, Fred.
4 years.
Yeah, that
33.
match was shit. It doesn't matter if this match is shit. Just let the right guy win and
The story is
and
so
move
good.
on. Yeah.
Fred, you think we see a lot of hocus pocus in this match?
Definitely. It should, because that's been the whole build up to it.
How do you do that this time with an actual crowd and not make it cheesy? Because I'll be honest, 33 was cheesy as hell with the snakes and the bugs in the ring, right?
What would you be upset, Miguel? You and Fred are going to be there. What if this was cinematic-esque? Right?
I'd be pissed, to be honest. I'd be really pissed.
We discussed this on a previous episode, and I'd be pissed.
I'm not saying I'm paying all my money to go see The Fiend, but to me, this is a marquee match.
It's one of the most high-profile ones.
Yeah, so
I'm very surprised that you think this is one of the most high-profile. I can understand why. It's got a lot of built around hocus pocus that a live audience wouldn't see. I would be surprised if they went away from that, even at WrestleMania, because some of the allure from building the match is built behind things that are not realistic. So
it comes down to if you like hocus pocus or not, right? Like, I kind of like the whole, suspending your disbelief type of thing. Some of it's been a little cheesy, but honestly, if I had to grade it as a pass fail, I'd give it a pass. The whole feud right now. Has it been the best feud I've ever seen? No, but I kind of like more than half the things they've done, so I'll give it that pass grade. But yeah, I'd be pretty sad if it was a cinematic match. So, Fred, who are you picking for this ultimately? Who you
Got to be the Fiend.
think so?
Just like he avenged his loss to Cena last year from 30, I think he's going to avenge his loss from 33, this year. He has to, and I think it will be a squash. Pretty much a squash. I'm not saying that Orton won't get any offense in, but it's going to mainly be a Fiend, match, and it should be. It should be.
Good. Okay.
I'm here, but one thing, I'm anxious to see how Alexa Bliss is involved.
Yeah, Bliss is the wild card.
She's obviously a huge part of it. So
sure. Nick, I know you're a big fan of this feud as well too. Who are you thinking?
The Fiend. I'm hoping, but I can't think of a single match that the Fiend has had at WrestleMania where I thought it made more of a business sense for the other guy to win in any scenario that he's had so far. I think he should have won every Mania match he's been in. I think they continue to drag him through the mud. I'm afraid that they, have soured fans on the Fiend character. They've done some weird shit with him. But we'll see what happens. I'm hoping that he wins. I think he deserves it more. I think he needs it more. I think at this point Orton could never win a match again, and he's still an important piece, to the puzzle. Where does the Fiend go if he loses this match? So, I think the Fiend, they finally have built him back up after that Bill Goldberg debacle. They can't let him lose again. So I think he wins.
Yeah, me. I'm going the Fiend to win. I just don't think there's any way. I think Orton can absorb. He could never win a match again, and he's still one of the greatest of all time at this point, right? So, yeah. The Fiend, to your point, he can absorb another loss, but this is too high profile. It's the first time we're going to be seeing his entrance with his new look. So, I just don't see the Fiend losing this match here. Fiend gets the W. I don't know what the hell Alexa Bliss ends up doing in this match. Maybe she eats an RKO. Actually, as sick as that sounds, I think that's gonna happen. I think she's gonna maybe she'll take a punt too. Maybe Orton will just punt her. I don't know. I'm going field here. You don't think so?
Jesus, Miguel. PG show. PG.
I'm calling left field here. Orton punts Alexa Bliss. Fiend does Sister Abigail, chokes out Orton, maybe resurrects Bliss from the dead. Who knows? I'm going the Fiend for the win here, but I am very much looking forward to seeing what the hell they do with this match. So, all right, we're getting down to the final three matches here. 3 heavyweight championship matches. We're going to start off with the WWE Championship match, and I'm going to give the honors to the 2 Royal Rumble winners to go last here. So we're going to go Bobby Lashley, who's the WWE champion on the Raw side, taking on Drew McIntyre. This match, technically thrown together only 3 weeks ago, but I think it's been a showdown people have been waiting for a while. So, Triple T, are you excited for this match?
I'm going last.
You're going last? Okay. Well, then I guess that means I'm going first. I'll kick off my thoughts. I am excited for this match. I said here, right on the air here, I was hoping for Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar. The day that Bobby Lashley beat The Miz, I called for Brock Lesnar to come out. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen. I think that match is inevitable and will happen. But this is a tough pick here because I am looking forward to this match. Will Bobby Lashley drop the title to Drew McIntyre to give him the moment that he was supposed to have last year? Or have the fans really kind of changed their tune on Drew McIntyre? And is Bobby Lashley the Drew McIntyre of 2021? So, gun to my head, I guess I'm going Bobby Lashley. This is a truly hard one to pick, in my opinion. I'm going Bobby Lashley to retain, just because I think WWE's high on Bobby Lashley. They both have similar stories, 16 years, 15 years, whatever it is to win the WWE Championship. But I think this is the almighty error. So my money's on Bobby Lashley. I said it, and I'm sticking to it. Nick?
I think Drew McIntyre is going to win. I think I wouldn't be surprised if Brock Lesnar made his return at the end to close the show out. I do think this match will be the last match. I could see Drew McIntyre winning and then, cue Brock Lesnar's music. I just think Bobby Lashley, the fact that they broke up the Hurt Business, which to me is like one of the dumber things you can do. The fact that they broke them up, I think kind of gives them an out for where Bobby Lashley is going to go next. I hopefully they add more people and they keep the Hurt Business, some kind of variation of it. But, I could see MVP and Bobby Lashley feuding against, Shelton Benjamin and Cedric. So, we'll see what happens. Like I said, I think there's a legitimate case that can be made for every title to change hands. I think that Drew McIntyre, missed his moment in the sun last year in front of fans. So I think he's going to get it this year in front of fans. And it'll be interesting to see how the fans react to him, because I think at this point, COVID wasn't a thing. I've said multiple times, I think that he would be getting booed right now. We'll see, how it turns and plays out, but I do think that he's going to get the win. So,
Fred?
I'm going with McIntyre. I don't see him losing at WrestleMania. I'm not saying that Lashley won't win it back the next month, but I don't see Drew losing at WrestleMania. I think WrestleMania is his moment to win. That's why I was surprised that they took it off him, but they could have done that primarily. It would have been cool to see him retain the title, right? He could have done that and had his moment, but there's more value in him re-winning it, recapturing it, than retaining it and getting his moment with the pyro and all that shit. So Drew McIntyre.
Okay, I like it. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm going Lashley, but
I'll say it. You're wrong. You're wrong. Bobby Lashley is going to win the match, right? They put some sort of bounty on. Yeah, you're right, Miguel. They put some sort of bounty on McIntyre's head, right? So the Hurt Business is going to come back together at Mania. They're going to screw over Drew McIntyre. Lashley's going to retain the next night on Raw. That's when Lesnar comes back. Lesnar versus Lashley. Like, that's in my mind. If I'm booking, that's what I'm doing. Whether it's going to happen or not, I don't know. But I can't see how Lashley's going to lose the belt I don't see it happening.
okay, I like it. So you think Lesnar's coming back on the Raw after?
For whatever reason, WWE loves doing the Raw after Mania is the big spot to bring somebody back. I just think you're saying Rousey. I'll say Lesnar. Believe me, I want Lesnar to show up at Mania and cost McIntyre the belt. But I don't know if that's the route they're going to go. I think they want to bring him in to fight the champ. I don't see it going the other way.
My prediction is there's no shot. If Lesnar does come back, there's no shot. It's not happening with no fans in attendance. That's just my prediction.
Well,
Meaning
makes sense.
Coming back, it's happening at Mania. So, but we're 2-2 on this one. I like it. Let's move on now to the SmackDown Women's Championship match, and this match has actually been probably the second most hyped match leading up to Mania season. We got Sasha Banks defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against the 2021 Women's Royal Rumble winner, Bianca Belair. Triple T, we'll kick it back over to you, sir. What do you got?
You got it. So real quick, has this been announced for day one or day two? Do we know?
One.
This is the main event of day one?
no, it's just on day one.
They say it's one main event. I don't know if it's the last.
Yeah, they said Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley was the main event, but that doesn't mean. I mean, it is the main event. I mean,
But they don't know what day.
that doesn't mean it's closing. Yeah, they haven't announced yet.
Well, so Triple T, McIntyre and Lashley and Bianca and Sasha are both part of the day one package. I just don't know which match is going to last.
You got it. I'll predict that this will be the main event of day one.
Right.
And with that being said, I'm going to say they're going to let Bianca Belair get the belt as the face to end the show and end it on a good note, because that needs to happen in WWE world. So that's what I'm going to go with. It's going to be a good match. I think they're going to put on a very, very good showing. I just think it's Belair's time to shine, and let's see what the women do given a shot.
All right, Fred, who do you got?
Got to be Belair.
You think so?
I just, it's her moment. I mean, Sasha's had it now since the fall. She's a great champion, but I think this is Bianca's to the moon, as Cameron Grimes would say. I think this is it. I think they're gonna have a hell of a match. I wouldn't be surprised if they continue feuding for sure. But I just think this is the start of the Bianca Belair era. Why waste time? She's hot now. Just go with it.
I'm going to let Nick make his prediction, but then I got a question that might piss a few people off on here. So, but Nick, go ahead. Who do you got first before I say my question?
I think Sasha's going to win. This feud to me is reminiscent of AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. You know, when Shinsuke won the Royal Rumble, I think we all would have bet right then and there he was going to win the title, but it doesn't always happen. I don't think that Bianca Belair, it's her time right now. I could see her turning heel after losing, similar to Shinsuke Nakamura, and then, you know, maybe something happens down the line there. I don't think every title is going to change hands, and to me, would it shock me if she won? No, absolutely not. But I don't think any of these title changes would shock me. But somebody's got to retain, to me, and this one is the most likely for retaining the title. So I do think that Sasha's going to win.
Would WWE dare, here's my question before I get my answer, would WWE dare do a schmaz finish in this match? Because I'm thinking, I'm going to say it right now, if they're ballsy enough to do it, it's this match. I'm going Bianca Belair wins by disqualification and Sasha Banks retains the title. Like, do you think WWE has the balls to do a no title change finish on this match? That's for any of you three.
With their first live audience in God knows how long? I hope not.
It's just one match. I'm doing it just one match. I think if there's a match where it happens, a big profile match, it's this match. I don't know. Maybe I'm completely wrong on this, but what do you think, Nick?
I think it's possible. We've seen schmaz finishes for title matches at WrestleMania before, so it's not anything out of the ordinary. And if they would do it for a full crowd, why wouldn't they do it for 25,000? I mean, I think they have enough people and enough things going on to where I think the crowd is going to be hyped. I don't think there's, you know, anything that can be done that would turn the crowd, but I could be wrong. And if anybody could turn a crowd, it's WWE booking. So it's not out of the realm of possibilities. That being said, I think Sasha's just going to retain.
I'm going Bianca Belair, officially. Bianca Belair, but by disqualification, Sasha retains the title.
I've got $1 that doesn't happen, Miguel. $1 donkey dollar bet.
All right, ready? Air shake. Donkey dollar bet.
Yeah, you better sign that dollar.
What is this shake?
It's a shake, bro.
Shake like this.
Better?
But why is it like this?
It's the Hogan Macho Man, the Mega Powers brother.
Love it. Love it.
What Fred said.
This match, this honestly, out of all 14 matches, this match feels like the WrestleMania match, right? We got the triple threat match for the Universal Championship. Roman Reigns, the current Universal Champion, taking on Daniel Bryan and the men's 2021 Royal Rumble winner, the rated R superstar, Edge. Fellas, all the chips are in for this one. So Triple T, the last match here, my friend, the last match we're going to see on Sunday night. Who do you got? And tell me why you're most excited for this match out of all 14.
I mean, listen, Roman Reigns in the past year has won me over times a million. I mean, heel turn, everything around it. It makes perfect sense to let him retain. But WWE booking. So that's why you throw Daniel Bryan in. So that way Edge doesn't have to beat Roman Reigns to win the belt. So he beats Daniel Bryan to win the belt. And at the end, you're like, fuck. So that's what's going to happen. We saw it to get the belt off of McIntyre. You had The Miz. to get the belt off of Roman Reigns. Shut up, dog. To get the belt off of Roman Reigns, you have a triple threat match at Mania. And that's what's going to happen. Listen, could Daniel Bryan win and everyone go home happy because everyone loves Daniel Bryan? Sure. Do I see Edge winning and beating Daniel Bryan? Yes, absolutely. So that's what I'll go with. I don't know.
I love it. I love it. Fred, final pick here, sir. What are your thoughts?
On this day, we will see clearly because Edge will be the new Universal Heavyweight Champion, Edge. 10 years to the day that he had to relinquish the World Heavyweight Championship because of injury.
10 years to the day.
To the day. The Smackdown that he relinquished it is 10 years to the day of WrestleMania Night 2.
Remember, his mom in the crowd, front row.
Yep. He retired on Raw and dropped the belt on SmackDown.
So you're going Edge. All right, Nick.
10 years, brother. That's a huge moment, man.
So, Tim, you got Edge. Fred, you got Edge. Mr. Nickety Split, who you got, brother? The main event. All the marbles here.
Edge.
No, really? I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting to say that.
Yeah, I think Edge will win. I was a little hesitant when he turned heel because I do think that they want, the fans to cheer whoever wins. But I think Edge's return in front of a live crowd doesn't matter. I mean, he could have punted a dog on, coming Friday, and I still think he's going to get cheered, in front of a live crowd because they haven't seen him in such a long time. So I do think Edge will win. I think that's why Bryan's in the match. He'll pin Bryan. I don't think Roman Reigns takes the pin. So we'll go Edge.
All right, maybe I'm completely out of my mind here, but Edge was the person I was thinking about the least out of the three. I'm still deciding.
Really?
Right here on this exact moment, I'm deciding if we're going to see WrestleMania Part 2 or if Roman Reigns walks out to just set up and continue that run, that rampant run right to The Rock, because that shit's happening, and it's happening for the Universal title. I just don't know if it's next year or if we're 2 years away. And if we're
but he's not gonna lose to The Rock. The Rock's not taking the title. So if he doesn't lose the belt at this WrestleMania, who does he lose the belt to?
Yeah, he's not going to keep it for 2 years.
Well,
I think he will have it again, obviously, in 2 years from now.
But realistically, who do you see him losing to? Like, who does he lose to where he doesn't lose any momentum? Like, if he doesn't lose in a triple threat match where he's not involved, he's not going to. His days of losing to Brock are over. But if he,
is there anyone else?
I want to see that match again. I can't believe I'm saying this, but if 4 years later, I actually really want to see that match again, or 3 years later.
Well, wait a minute here. What if Big E is the guy that takes the belt off for Roman at maybe SummerSlam? I don't know. I think, you know what?
I don't think Roman gets pinned until next year and when he fights The Rock.
Yeah, I don't think Roman's going to lose, technically. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
There's a reason Daniel Bryan's in the match. And I think Edge is winning. I don't think Roman's obviously taking the pin. And I think Roman will win it back. I don't see a long title run for Edge. Maybe a few months or something. Roman will win it back for sure. But I think this is just for the time being. Edge is going to be the champion, and then it'll go back to Roman. But
here, right now, I'm going Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is going to retain the Universal Championship.
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be like, oh my God, I can't believe Roman won. I mean, now Daniel Bryan, that would shock me. Roman wouldn't shock me, and I wouldn't necessarily be mad either. But it'll be interesting to see. That's what makes it cool is we don't know, and there's a lot of different variables.
There's going to be interference in this triple threat match, right? There's no DQs, there's no anything. So you're going to have one or two of the Usos helping Roman Reigns. I don't know who else is going to show up.
Well, the other Uso hasn't returned yet, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Not yet.
So here's the thing.
So he could come out. He can come out, and that could be he could be the face, and that could be the Roman Reigns feud after, to get the title off him and get him out of the title picture for a while.
I don't know where, he comes out and costs Roman the belt, right? Roman's going for a Superman punch. He comes and grabs his leg, and all of a sudden it's a spear from Edge. Like, Roman could lose, right? And still say, like, he could be the loser of the match and not necessarily lose something, just move on to another storyline that will, could help everyone all around. That's the beauty of the match. There's so many variables that are going to go into a triple threat that's going to close a show, that's going to be leading on to something else. Can't wait.
Yeah, I mean, do we all agree this is the most anticipated match of the weekend?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Absolutely.
Cool. Before we sign off, this was a lot of fun. Just one quick bonus question for you guys. Just give a quick answer. What match are you looking forward to the least out of all 14 matches? Just curious. Nick?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, sure.
Braun and Shane.
Fred?
I guess the women's tag team turmoil. I mean, really. I mean, not saying the women's tag team championship match, but the turmoil. But you need to get there. So,
Tim?
I'm going to go Braun and Shane.
I'm going women's tag team turmoil as well. So.
Can we close on a better note than the worst match?
All right.
Are you fucking excited for the AEW and WWE to combine forces?
Yeah, honestly, I think that is a great hook for right after WrestleMania, is for people that are sitting at home watching Peacock, WrestleMania on Peacock. No one turning that shit off to see Jericho and Austin on Broken Skull Ranch. I mean, you two are going to be watching, obviously, on TV. I'm assuming you two are watching live as it happens, right? Right after Mania?
Fuck yes.
Nick?
If I'm going to be able to, I got this thing called work. I don't know if I'm going to be.
That's
I'm
in the morning.
Yeah, but I can't even watch night one. I have to get caught up on night one because I'm going to be behind already. So I don't know.
Tough.
We'll see.
Wow. All right. Well, I thought, Tim, you were going to ask, are we fucking excited to go to WrestleMania? And Fred, you and I, bro, we're flying out. This will drop on Saturday. When this drops, we'll be in Tampa, Florida, baby, getting ready for night one of WrestleMania 37. Ooh. I know I'm looking forward to it. Fred is as well, too. We'll be back next week to give you our thoughts of in person. We'll break down all things WrestleMania 37 next week. We'll talk about what it was like to be in the first returning crowd since the start of the pandemic. So tune in next week, guys.
And hopefully we won't have COVID when we come back.
I was just about to say, from AEW fans to WWE fans, please be safe. Wear your masks. Don't kiss no random people, Fred. Just keep your, keep the sexiness.
Woo!
Yeah, exactly. Take it easy.
We'll be as safe as humanly possible. But guys, as always, make sure you can catch all of our shows. TruExactRadio.com. Look at Triple T repping the merchandise. Buy some merch. Show us some love. You can also catch the show as Nick Yohan's getting ready for the Hall of Fame here. You can also catch all the shows on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, the podcast app on iPhones as well, too. Anywhere where you get all of your podcasts. Make sure you check out some of our other podcasts as well, too. Got two fine gentlemen here from Sharp Bets and Fantasy Sets. You can catch all things sports betting related. I know these two do a really good job along with Sir and their special guests every week, as well as the Random University Show and the TruExact Show itself. Guys, a lot of fun today. I look forward to breaking down WrestleMania 37, and I'll talk to you all next week. Thanks, gents.
Take care.
Be good.